Rotom, and the Rotoms, I'm not really sure how they change. Somebody...
Pretty sure what they're going to do. I mean, if you look at the official website, they've shown a picture now of a room that has each of the 5 items sitting there. And you know, the key they're going to be giving out in Japan starting September 28th through Wi-Fi. And I think, you know, obviously we'll want to find out more in a few weeks when that happens. But what I'm going to guess is that once you have the item, you can go into the room, and then if you touch your Rotom to the thing you want it to turn into, it'll turn into that form.
Yeah, we already hacked the event.
Okay, then
you go into the room, and the story is that when Rotom touches a motor belonging to any electronic item, it fuses with the item. So Rotom is actually fused with the lawnmower or the sink or whatever he turns into. And because of that, since there's only one of each item in the game, that means that you can only get one of Rotom's forms. I mean, you can get all 5 of them, but you can only get one of each. What do you guys think of the new characters? They've been advertised pretty heavily. There's Pluto the scientist. He's the new galactic commander. You know, we have Commander Mars, Commander Jupiter, Commander Saturn, and now Commander Pluto. And we also have the international police officer, Handsome.
Okay, that guy is awesome. You know, Japan is doing hype with him. They had the actual, you know, detective come onto the show, Pokemon Sunday. Team Galactic came and stole Lucario from the show, and they had Handsome, you know, the detective Handsome, come in and try to save Lucario, and he was absolutely ridiculous, and I loved him. He's so ridiculous, and he couldn't save him in the end. Lucario saved himself. He came back to the show all on his own and told them all this interesting information about Team Galactic and Platinum, and Handsome just he didn't cut it. And you know, and I hadn't gotten to him in the game yet, but then I got to him in the game after that, and I was like, wow, he's really like that. I love this guy. He's completely stupid. I love him. I think he's a great character.
I think I like Pluto better than Handsome because I think Handsome is just like what you were saying. He's just kind of stupid. I like how Pluto has that whole backstory to him, like going back to the Rotom forms. Raya posted the story about him from the video games where Pluto befriended Rotom when he was little, and Rotom would always shock him. Rotom shocked him so badly he fell unconscious. So Rotom went into his robot toy, and by doing that, Pluto could hug him and interact with him. And I like that about Pluto because he's got that whole backstory to him where it makes him a little more personal. Like, I don't like how Cyrus and Mars and people like them, they never got any backstory, so we don't really know anything about them, but I just like that about Pluto, how we know a little more about him than the other characters on his team.
Yeah, we get a little bit more insight into Mars and Saturn, I think, the 2 girls. I mean, they're really catty, don't like each other.
They don't like each other?
No.
Fans of the team are really going to be happy with Platinum because they really focus a lot more on Team Galactic than they did in the original Diamond and Pearl. And I know there's a lot of fans of, you know, Team Rocket, Team Magma, Team Aqua, all those crazy teams. People are probably going to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been watching the cartoons, so I don't know how they're treated there, but I was pretty happy with the treatment in the game. It gave them a lot more personality.
Well, the show, they've been introducing them slowly throughout the show. I mean, I don't really watch the TV show that much because I don't really have a lot of time, but the couple of episodes I saw of Galactic was like they were in a helicopter. What's the city with the meteors again? Veilstone?
Veilstone.
Well, in the episode I saw, they were like flying around in helicopters. They shut down the power in the city. They were trying to steal the meteorites. They had some master plan to... they didn't really explain, but they're going to go to the lakes after, so they have some plan in the works. And then there was a Toxicroak and Krogunk battle, and it was just a pretty awesome episode. And I think they're really treating Team Galactic a lot better than they did Magma and Aqua.
I mean, we already talked about how Galactic gets a lot more development. The Pixies also have a lot more personality in Platinum, which I thought was great. In Diamond and Pearl, I thought they were really bland. I mean, they look like Jirachi. They don't really play a role in the plot. In Platinum, they play a really big role. They help you defeat Cyrus. They follow you around. They're adorable.
Well, they're with you throughout the whole Torn World sequence, aren't they?
Yeah, they do.
Aren't they cry. They make little cries when you're doing the right thing, right? Or something. You know, I haven't gotten there yet, but
they're like telling you. They're like telling you what to do.
It's so cute.
Because the Torn World is like impossible to navigate, and you kind of follow them around at some of the more difficult points.
Well, it's actually not just Platinum. I mean, they are when you talk about the Pixies and Galactic, you know, they made them really big in Platinum, and now, you know, as a goods collector, I know that in early October they're coming out with the Tommy Monster Collection figures of the Pixies, and usually the release of the figures comes in time with when they appear in the anime, and just at the same time in the anime, they're having a 1-hour episode about Team Galactic. It's called Galactic's Conquest, and I think it's a little early. If you sync it up with the plot of the game, it's a little early because they haven't gone even to Canalave City yet. They haven't even beaten Fantina. But, you know, they're really focusing this fall on Galactic. And it's not just the anime and Platinum and the goods. It's also the new card is called Galactic's Conquest. It's all coming out in fall.
Who wants to make a bet that Yuxi, Mesprit, and Azelf will be major cards in that set too?
I'm sure that they're going to be very major. I mean, they really seem to be focusing on these you know, Galactic guys. And I don't really know about the card set. I'm sure one of you does. That's what you guys do.
That's Chris's area. He's going to talk about the card.
Yeah.
It seems like everything, they pretty much sync everything together. They try to tie in everything as much as they can because, I mean, I think that's what makes the franchise most successful. You play the video game, then you get to watch it on TV, and you're like, oh yeah, I played that in the game, and then you get to play it in the card game with sets that are themed after things that have happened. So I think that's like one of the reasons why.
And you get to collect the dolls of your favorite Pokemon and
They
stationery
always tie parts of the franchise together. I mean, even when it comes up when it's the movie, they release hundreds of new goods. The card set, which is now the card set that was released in Japan in summer, is, you know,
Intense Fight in the Destroyed Sky.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it focuses on, it has cards, you know, brand new cards for Giratina, Shaman, and it, you know, they came out with that new set of movie Pokemon, you know, Magnezone as well. And you know, they really do a good job of tying it in.
We had Deoxys with the Deoxys movie, and Dialga and Palkia, and Darkrai X when the Darkrai movie came out.
When the English set came out, they moved those back a little bit so that they would coincide with our English release of The Rise of Darkrai. And then that's probably what they're going to do with this set too.
Speaking of the card game, Chris, I know that you're really involved in the TCG. You probably think about your decks like a month or 2 months before the set even comes out. So what do you think of Stormfront?
Enlighten us.
Now, well, Stormfront, when new mechanics come out, the first one is that they're reintroducing shiny Pokemon. So just like in the video game, you have that rare chance of encountering a shiny. You can also pull a shiny card. This thing is really awesome.